every time when I go to the panel discussion, I was, we're friends, we're gonna help. No, the investor has one lump sum money, and then they're gonna spend with you or with me. That's it. There's no sharing is carrying out there.
Like Singapore companies, if we're here, we want to explore the Chinese market. The easiest way is to just dip your toes here with some of these social media channels.
If you have the response on that, then you go.
Then we look at the next step.
Not like I go there, hope and pray this will work. No. So if this doesn't even work here, don't even think about it.
Welcome back to the TFC Business Show. I'm your host Reggie, aka your Chief Financial Coconut, and I'm joined once again with Alex. You want to introduce yourself, our audience that don't know you?
Hey everyone, this is Alex Low. You can find me on socials, Alex Low, Growth Mindset Coach.
Great, and today we are doing an important panel. I would say this is probably one of the most important ones.
I've been looking forward to it actually.
Yeah. Why are you looking forward to it?
I mean, for most important, I know one of our guests personally from many years ago, and the conversations that I had socially with business associates, stakeholders, all of that is always about China. How do we go to China? What's so good about China? And I think today's conversation is definitely hitting a lot of those points there.
Singapore companies want to go to China. Chinese companies want to come to Singapore, right? So I think that's why we are doing this panel. Okay, and for our guests, you want to introduce yourself for our audience that don't know you?
Hi everyone, this is Lovie. I'm from Deren Marketing, and it's a great honor to be here today. It's a great opportunity here to share some inside thoughts.
Hi everybody. My name is Xiao, and then you can find me on LinkedIn as Xiao Saunders. And then thanks for the invite, Reggie and Alex. And I knew Alex for a few years. And then I just met Reggie today. What a character.
Yeah.
And I have my own consultation company. So basically I have two sides of business. And one is for franchise consulting. I bring the West to the East. And then eventually we prepare you well. Then you go to China instead of you're not well prepared. And then, like in China, the brands can copy you really well and then half of your price, and then you don't even know what happened, and then you are swollen. And then another side of my business is like together with Lovie as my colleague, and then we're doing Xiao WeChat and TikTok and all sorts of social media marketing, and then we started like 7-8 years ago.
Awesome. So maybe share with us a little bit more. What does it mean by bringing the West to the East? From a brand's perspective, what does it take? How does it happen?
4-5 years ago, I started as a Asia director of a brand called F45. I'm not sure have you heard of that.
You brought F45 here?
Yeah, so I was an Asian director for that. So I sold every single F45 in Asia. So I sold about 52 of them in Singapore, and then 20 in Hong Kong, 20 in China, 10 in Vietnam, and 10 in Taiwan. So I basically sold myself out of a job. Through that experience, I handled like thousands of inquiries and then hundreds of franchisees or potential franchisees. So after that, I was headhunted by Anytime Fitness. They wanted me to expand Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan. So Chinese speaking markets as well. And so after that, I decided to just start my own consultation company. So I help Fitness First build their brands called GoFit and FaFit, and then I expanded them as well. And at the meantime, I was also consulting a company called Orange Theory, which they're very, very big in the US, but they were not that successful in Asia, in Singapore especially, in 2017 when I was selling F45 left and right on their face with their competitors. So we decided to come back, so I consulted them.
So you're bringing the competitor back into the market.
We're all in fitness franchise, and every franchise always a competitor. That's why every time when I go to the panel discussion, I was, we're friends, we're gonna help. No, the investor has one lump sum money, and then they're gonna spend with you or with me. That's it. There's no sharing is carrying out there.
I love it.
The reality of life, right? Yes, reality of life.
So what makes a successful market entrance into, let's say, the Asian market or Singapore, Malaysia, some of these places?
Localize. Basically, when I tell the Western brands, and then I will say, darling, I know your father loves you the most. They do think you are the best of the whole world. But listen, whenever you want to come to another market, localize it. You are not the center of the universe as your hometown or your country can be. So if you don't localize it, you will fail. You, especially for franchise business, you will leave a bad taste in people's mouths, and that is like detrimental for the brand in the future to enter the market again if you wanted to.
Can
Yeah.
we be a bit more specific with that localized, right?
Yeah,
So
which brand I can't say.
No, what does it take to
Yeah.
localize? How does it look like?
what
right?
does localization mean? Use an example from a brand that you brought here. What was it in the West, and how did they localize it when it came to
Example,
Singapore?
in Australia and in the US, they have the biggest territory can be, right? So whenever they cut the territories in Singapore, either they cut it way too big, so it's not profitable for the franchisor, because like after 10 you sold out, and then so that's not very profitable for some country like Singapore is so prosperous, and then people's average income is so high, right? But if you cut it way too small, you make franchisees fight with each other, dog eat dog, and then that wouldn't last long either. So that's number one. Cutting the territory, relying on the density of the residential, and
Right.
then you know the future town, thing
Follow
like that. That is
Singapore
something.
government GRC.
URA.
URA. Not just URA, also the spending power. So like my job is helping them to cut Singapore according to the population density. That's number one, and also according to people who have higher education like diploma or degree. Because if your product is very expensive, that's where you're gonna go. And also we have to go according the average income as well. So you know that makes the territory coverage very much fair for every single franchisee out there, and then you pick it. So that's number one, territory. Most of the Western brands are making the mistake. Number two, their posters are like beast looking,
Yeah.
like that.
It's I don't,
right?
Yeah, it's like I don't want to be like that.
So-
Not that I'm anywhere near lah. Huh? But yes.
You can try,
Okay,
but
okay.
I don't have too much
Okay,
confidence.
okay.
honestly.
Hey, let's prove her wrong.
No, I know what. I don't need to win everything. But yes.
But you have those guys on the poster that is totally catering the Western beauty,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And people like, but for Asian, I work out 12 hours a day and I eat like cabbage every day. I wouldn't look like that whatsoever, right? I wouldn't. And you know, by the way, I don't want to look like that either. So that's why badminton or ping pong is very popular in Asia, because we want masculine and slim kind of body. That is doable. I don't want to see something intimidating and also not doable. So that's another one. If any other localization come back to, and about the franchise law. So that is very much individual. And also the different buyer personas is very individual differently as well. Like in the West, most of them are owner and operator. They like Chick-fil-A, they work on their business, and then that's just part of their life. But in Singapore, most of them are investors. They have just money,
Yeah.
right? And then or they're
They
corporate
love-
refugees.
They love the margins. They love the business, but they may not
They
love
don't
fried
want to get their
chicken.
hands
Yeah,
dirty.
yeah, they don't
They don't
want
want to get their hands dirty.
It's like,
Yeah. So, and then we have like in the fitness industry, we have like trainers. They're passionate about. They know what to do. They love to talking to the clients every day, but they don't have the capital. So my job is matchmake them. And then
Okay.
teach the personal trainers how to pitch to an investor what they like to hear. Don't tell me about the branding. We don't care about F45 or F46. If I throw you $1, give me $2 back. That's all what they need to know.
Fair,
Or
fair.
when we talk to corporate refugees, what kind of selling points are that? And then when we talk to housewives who are not working for 10 years and then just want to get back and realize, oh my God, the working environment is brutal, and then maybe I just make $4,000 a month. What's the point? Maybe I should start my own. But they don't know how to pitch to the husband. We also teach you how to pitch to the husband. Do whatever may get the job done.
whatever that makes. That's why you can sell so many, right? Yeah. So that is
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
And good timing, good product.
Yeah.
So all of that
For
combination as well.
For sure. So if we bring it back to the whole like Chinese market,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, like what are some of these like quirks that Chinese brands have to kind of adjust to enter the Singapore market or enter into Southeast Asia? Because you know all this 实价, right? Everybody want to come here, right?
Yeah.
So like, because we're talking to all these brands, and today we're at the expo, right? So what does it take for a Chinese brand to succeed here? You know, like then I can decide whether I want to use them, right?
From your real case study.
Yeah.
Like let's say Chaji, right?
Chaji.
I-
Oh,
I-
you brought in Chaji?
No, not
No, okay.
us, but they
Okay.
have their own team to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's one of the great examples, like Chinese brand localized in Singapore and gain great succeed, right? As you can see, prior to the opening, I believe you see on IG, Facebook,
Yeah, all
not
that.
only English social media, but Chinese
Yeah.
social media, they have a great presence. before the launch. They encourage like a app download throughout the free coupon. Have you used that?
I've seen it.
Have you-
I was
have
in
you tried
China
it?
recently only, so yeah. I've
Have you
used those
tried
things.
it?
Yes, I've tried it.
Yeah. I mean, at that period of time, I would say like charging grade a big topic like among the teenagers.
No, the thing is, a brand like Chargy coming in
Yeah.
looks revolutionary, right? From
Yeah.
the customer experience on a digital front. But when I was in China, right, every Chinese brand looks like this,
Uh-huh.
right? Luckin, Chargy,
很卷
everyone,
啦，
yeah,
很卷。
很卷.
Very
And
competitive, yeah.
everyone uses a very amazing app, easy UI. I'm in my hotel,
yeah.
I book, then I walk down the street, the shopping street, I pick up, I continue walking.
Yeah,
right? Everyone is doing that, right? So it's sexy when they come here, but over there it's everyone. You
That's
know
why
what I
they
mean?
want to take the overseas market. Then who wins by enter the market first, right?
Okay,
Brand
okay,
awareness. If you
okay.
think about Chinese like a high level like atas tea, then you think about charging instead of other brands, right? Because they enter the market first.
Yeah.
I mean, even before Chargy, there was Mi Xue, right?
蜜雪
But
but
Misha
it's
is not
different
mass.
market.
Not fancy,
Misha,
right?
Yeah, Misha is not fancy.
But it's
Yeah.
But it is
affordable.
mass market.
It is, okay,
Yeah.
it is mass market.
But,
Yeah.
yes.
but not atas.
Yeah, but it does feel like Misha has a very different strategy, right? Like it's just 便宜, right? It's cheap and move, right? Whereas the Chargy thing, right? What they got I think in Malaysia they have Lee Zhongwei, I think that's ambassador, and then they had like a whole bus thing, and then over here they also have a lot of local stuff, and yeah, it's just a whole UI game that some of these Chinese brands are playing. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First
yeah.
of all, you need to get enough money from the investors, then you can burn it.
How much would something like that cost? Like, because
I have
some
no
of these
idea.
Chinese brands, let's say we
It's
use
unlimited.
Chargy coming in, right? So they have prepared all these tech stack
Yep.
and everything, right? And when they come in and they look for a local partner, what would the cost kind of look like?
I would say if they want to take the market, they are willing to spend. Yeah.
The story I heard, they came to Singapore with a partner, right, previously.
Yeah, previously.
And then they failed. That's why they decided to come in by themselves this time, right? Yeah. So like last time I told Alex the same. Like, I love you, you love me. We have 3 children. Our divorce rate is 56%. So a lot of brands came to Singapore. Oh, we can just find a master franchise and then we take their money. Oh, no, they're gonna do all the work. Listen, he doesn't love you. You don't love him. You guys don't even have 3 children together. You're in for money only. You think about the divorce rate, it's way higher. And then the left 54%, half of them stay for HDB, right? The real love, how much is that? So I always suggest the franchisors give some individual franchise outlets first, and then we test you. If you're doing well, then we will reward you. I'm not fun selling here. I'm gonna reward you, the master, because you have to prove me. At least we need some date time. We're not having children straight away.
Okay.
That is my thinking.
Okay, yeah.
Talking about the high technology in
Yeah.
China, so I'll tell you the real case scenario. Like F45 went to China, like I single-handed brought them in because like it took me 1 year to tell the Aussie company WeChat is not WhatsApp. So I said, if without a WeChat account, I'm not going to China, because like who care you are 45, 46. So we build a WeChat channel, and then we spend the money on the campaign. And so then we get very good proper leads out there. Once we start advertising, there's F30. So F45 means functional training for 45 minutes, short time, and then good result. You want short? Well, bloody short. We can do 30 minutes, right?
How long did it take for F30 to spring up?
About 9 months, six to 9 months.
Right.
Yeah. The color is the same. Team training, life changing. It was a slogan.
I know.
Translate to Chinese on your face.
Wow.
So that is so. You need to be well prepared before you step into any China market. And then number 2, so for Anytime Fitness, when they went to China market, they would say, oh, we are 24 hours opening. And also number 2, we have high technology with a key fob. When in China, we use a palm. We use a face. What are you talking about key fob? So get that straight. And then get all these analyzation properly. That's another thing I was talking about, localizing it. You need to know what kind of level they are there now before you think like, oh, we have a key fob.
You're a passe already, right?
Exactly. So something like that is. So I'm coming back to the about the Deren Marketing company. We both are in. So like 6-7 years ago, we started with at that time there's no Xiao We just
WeChat.
do WeChat.
Yes.
WeChat marketing. So how since we are the authorized agent from Tencent, which is the mother company. So example, Mr. Wang has booked a ticket on WeChat flying from Shanghai to Singapore. We can detect that. Okay. Number two, we check the most accurate thing is not how many times this guy click on Marina Bay Sands. Maybe he loves it, but he can't afford it, right? The most accurate is about WeChat spending. So everybody use WeChat Pay. So if we are promoting Marina Bay Sands, we will only promote to people who spend, let's say you spend 20,000 on WeChat, it means you make 30,000. You spend 2,000, you make 3,000. So that just, the spending cannot lie, right? So we will target people who spending more than 20,000 above for the fancy hotel. And then the cheaper one, we promote Hotel 81. So it's very, very accurate. Number two, we all reading articles on WeChat. So the last 14 days, we can see what you read about. And then we know that you're interested in fitness or you're interested in hot pot every day. So I'm not your mother. I'm not going to convince you. It's not my job to convince you that exercising is good for your health. Like, I'm going to promote hot pot. Whoever loves durian, we promote durian. It's not my job to convert you.
Fair.
So that is very, very accurate when it comes to the China.
So when Singapore brands are trying to go into China, all these things are a must. WeChat account, Xiaohongshu, all this. So essentially all my marketing strat, I have to kind of carve out a budget to set up a social presence in a whole different ecosystem.
When your Facebook, Instagram, Google SEO is all banned, what more can you do? If you're not working on WeChat and Xiaohongshu, you're crippled.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I got a lot of Singapore SMEs say, we don't need WeChat or Xiaohongshu marketing because we're not going to China. I was like, I just look at your product. You shouldn't go to China. You get bitten up so quick. We're talking about the 1.5 million Chinese here in Singapore. To start with. So whichever Singapore brands want to go to China, test it here, see if it works. And then whoever comes to Singapore, either they are super talented or they have shitloads of money. So if they can't even afford your product, maybe don't go to China to start with. I came to Singapore 23 years ago. When I came here, the population was 3 million. Now it's 6 million. So out of that 3 million, 75% is Chinese. And then we are not all Alex giving the so many children to the government, right? The birth rate is minus. So where these Chinese are from, Malaysian and China Chinese. Yeah. And then China Chinese will not access to Facebook. Our Facebook account get hacked all the time because we just don't use it much. And so we get all our information and resources from WeChat and Xiaohongshu information. So if any Western or local company want to see if my product or my service is suitable for China market, try it here.
Test it here.
Try it here.
Easy.
And then you can service them like within a night. Like say, okay, if it's not good, I'm going to change for you, swap for you, or whatever. So if this doesn't even work here, don't even think about it.
So I like that. Try local
I like
first.
that. Yeah. The question about time.
In terms of timeline, right? So let's say a Singapore company wants to go to China. Yes, try it here, but what is that timeline and what is that sort of budget that they need to be very, very acutely aware of putting in for Xiaohongshu and WeChat?
Marketing is an endless hole.
It's true, lah. It's true,
right? We can spend $1 a month. Then you don't get a result.
Let's talk about
the
capex first and then the opex,
it varies
which is the endless
way
cost.
too much. And then people can spend 1 million. So it depends on the priority of the company. If the company says, okay, I have companies spend $500,000 a year, you see result. You spend $50 a month, you don't see result.
Okay.
So usually,
but that's quite drastic, right? So somewhere in the middle, is there an SME? Because so we think from an SME standpoint, right?
Yeah.
So let's say a brand here in Singapore has like maybe 80 people on their team, right? So and there are a lot of these type of companies. They sell curtain, they sell furniture, those kind of like 中小型企业, right?
SMEs,
a lot of SMEs here, and they have like an 80-man, 100-man team, and they want to expand beyond, right? And China is definitely something that they are looking at. So with a company at this size,
and they're testing the water.
Yeah, and they're testing the water.
They don't have that much money to test that water.
Exactly. Yeah. So what is efficient? What is effective? How much kind of should I, allocate for?
Yeah, maybe I'll share more like a local brand, Osuichon.
Okay.
Yeah, they have like a different outlet in Paragon Orchard and also MBS.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a local brand. They want to, because according to the Xiaohongshu data, right, the daily active user of Xiaohongshu is 600,000 to 800,000
Here,
here.
I'm an active user.
Oh.
Hey, Xiaohongshu is very nice.
I'm
Right?
not.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
user
yeah.
experience is very nice.
So let's say I'm an entrepreneur or like an expat. I'm immigrant from China. So I stay in Singapore. What's my resource? I don't use IG. I don't use Facebook. My WeChat friends, the moment my friend is based in China, so what they use, they're gonna use Xiaohongshu. So just now I mentioned earlier, like they are the daily.
600 to 800,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Among that, 60% is Chinese, 40% is mix of Singaporean and Malaysian. So they want to build the brand awareness, like TWG, Bacha. They want to build this kind of brand awareness. This is something you need to bring it back to China if you want to bring souvenir for your friends and family in China.
It's like the chiffon cake.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
绿蛋糕.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Xiao CK is something
we
you
don't
need to
even
buy.
eat it here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I ate it when I was a kid, but that's
I
it.
know.
But in China, it's so hung like that
Yeah,
thing
it's
is
so
just
hung.
like moving everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the Chinese tourists, they have spending power.
Yeah.
There's a need, right?
Yeah.
You bring souvenir back to your hometown.
Yeah.
So that's what we helping Australia is doing here.
Okay.
Yeah, to
So
bring-
how much do
How
they
much they
spend?
spend,
Something
yeah.
like that. What's the-
I don't think I should.
Okay, I mean, is there a ballpark and are there
Yeah.
certain strategies that work very well? Yeah.
Yep. So first, educate your user. Why?
Okay.
I mean, maybe Australian tastes very nice and the package is very atas, but your user don't know that, right? You have keep telling them, like
Okay.
brainwash them, like
But,
how
but
good we
excuse
are.
me
Yeah.
for saying this, right?
Yeah.
But this is then actually creating an unauthentic demand or need for a specific product. Like what you mentioned, the chiffon cake that we don't even know about. And suddenly, because of how it is being presented on Xiaohongshu,
Yep.
it is unauthentic demand or need
Did
for
you
that
see
specific
Lazada
product.
shopping every day on your face? Is that authentic or unauthentic?
True also,
Whatever
right?
works.
True also, yeah.
Well, our job, we're like a lawyer who pays us, we help them. So we help merchants to sell. Before Chinese came, Singapore
lot,
don't know
actually.
what is confinement
Yeah,
center
yeah,
at all.
yeah.
So those confinement center is about $30,000 a month, if fully booked.
Yep.
Through Xiaohongshu only.
Fully booked.
And
Yeah.
monthly rate is more than like 10,000. It's like I think the price
It's
rate.
20,000. So as a
Yeah.
father of three, I know.
Yeah,
It's an average 20K a month, and they
Yes.
put their wives and baby there for at least 3 to 6 months.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, 20K times 6 months, that's 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's my annual salary.
Hey, I also
Yeah.
want to start confinement
Yeah.
center. Okay.
So I remember like they spend like $3,000 a month
Yep.
with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they are getting at least 17 average back.
Okay.
So something like that. That
Okay.
we first of all, if you're selling the chicken $1 a chicken, I can give you lots of traffic. But if you're selling $100, that's another story. So
Yeah.
it really depends on your offer. So if their offer is not great, we won't take their money either.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
then you will blame me. There's no
Yeah,
result.
yeah. No, and I feel like because when I was staying in China and I travel in China, the offer for the first time user is amazing.
crazy.
It's
Like
crazy.
Lucking, right?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, yeah.
99 cents per
100.
Yes,
Coffee,
99
yeah.
cents for your first cup, and then $9.90 for the next three months or something like that.
Yeah.
Every day you get one cup, so you kind of develop the user stickiness, right? Whereas like I think a lot of SMEs here, it's very like margin first, right? You gotta keep a certain margin. So when they do promo, it's also not very fierce, you know, like they're not as like gung-ho about it. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, 5% off. What's that mean? Right?
But this user acquisition, right, the amount of money that they're putting in, after you have purchased that fourth or fifth time, then there would potentially be another brand that would be coming up with that exact same thing. So then you're already losing that customer, right? So how do you maintain that brand loyalty?
Yeah.
like Lucking, what they do, right? They will send you the promo codes through
Yeah,
WhatsApp,
yeah.
every day a few
Every
days.
day.
And
They
then
will
after that,
remind
there's
you.
Coty coffee, right? So
Yeah,
then
yeah.
people who are on Luckin will just jump onto Coty.
Yeah, yeah.
And after that, maybe it would be another ABC coffee. Right?
That's a
So
fair point.
How
That's a
do
fair
you
point.
maintain? How do you advise your clients to maintain that that customer
Keep on
loyalty?
engage us, and then we'll do good content. Otherwise, do it yourself. So our job
That's
is
why that you
helping
say
the
it's an
merchant. That's all.
endless pay, right? It's an endless
Business
pay.
is not bad nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
We have 20 people here in Singapore. We have 20 people in China as well.
Okay,
It grew.
okay,
It
okay.
did grow.
So just to be clear on this, right? Essentially, when somebody, when an enterprise comes in, SME comes in and does a campaign like what we're talking about, you know, what is the kind of cadence that we're expecting, right? The sense of okay, we do this campaign for 3 months. The customers, is there like an average stickiness that we're measuring, and then like what is the next tranche that we have to do, right? Or is this a wrong way to think about it, right? Just trying to help me understand.
No.
Yeah.
It has to be long term.
Yeah.
I really hope, because whenever a China brand comes to Singapore, you don't worry about it. They come to us straight away. They're Xiaohongshu, they're WeChat, they're doing whatever. But I really, really hope, I'm a Singaporean now, a proud Singaporean for the last 8 years. I do hope Singapore SMEs be more open-minded and then try things that, example, like we were talking the lawyer company, you could be the first very big lawyer company on the Xiaohongshu or WeChat to capture that 1.5 million Chinese business here. Something like, be open-minded, tried it out for 3 months to 6 months, and then if it really doesn't work, or your CMO change, usually that's what it is, and then you want to go back to your. But the thing is, there's no Facebook and Instagram marketing to go back to nowadays, because it's getting more expensive, and then the lead quality is getting worse and worse. I mean,
It's terrible. Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah.
If you don't do Facebook, don't do Instagram, don't do the Google SEO is expensive. What more can you do? Try WeChat, try Xiaohongshu.
Okay,
That's
okay,
all.
fair.
And then you are talking about the longevity.
Yeah.
After that,
Talk later.
The results will show for itself, right? But what you're saying is that once you're in, when the results show it for itself, you would probably not want to get out.
like Mr. Bin is our client for Xiaohongshu and
Mr.
WeChat.
Bean,
Yes,
okay,
Mr.
okay.
Bin, Old Chang
WeChat.
Kee.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
WeChat and Xiaohongshu with us. So once they built like on Xiaohongshu about 1,000 followers, after that is organic. If you're doing very good promotion, you will grow. Like we just had a meeting with Koufu.
Yeah.
So they had an app, and then you can have like 10%. I don't
We
know
don't know that.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that.
I know that.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
So
I know, but they
Singaporeans
never
know
pay me,
that.
so I'm not gonna shut up on them. But anyway, you said it already.
Singaporean know that, but why none of the Chinese know that here at all? Because you're not shining on my face.
Yeah.
I don't even have a chance to search you.
They are not on the social media we use. Yeah.
Yeah. So once you have some followers, it will organically grow.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair.
and then
fair.
and then if your service is shit or whatever, not my problem.
Not my problem.
Yeah.
okay, fair.
Yeah.
I like it. So
Understand.
from that point of view, right? I understand what you're saying. Like Singapore companies, if we're here, we want to explore the Chinese market. The easiest way is to just dip your toes here with some of these social media channels. You know,
If you have the response on that, then you go.
then we look at the next steps, right?
yeah,
Okay,
not
okay.
like I go there, hope and pray this will work. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the dichotomy sometimes, right? People are like either they don't do it or they just go in one time, good one, and hope and pray, right?
Yes,
So we
yes.
want to kind of manage the expectation a little bit.
Correct.
Okay. So from that, since we're on the topic of marketing, right? And we are in marketing, right? So I want to understand, like, from a marketing ads spend, because it sounds very much like an ROI-driven conversion type of campaign. You know, where does brand building kind of sit on this? You know, Xiaohongshu or WeChat. How do you think about it? Yeah.
After 3 to 4 months,
Okay.
you will start to see the result. And the
Okay.
cost per click on Xiaohongshu is relatively low compared to IG and Facebook. It's like 20 cents per click.
Yeah. Okay.
So for 1,000 spending on the ads, right? You're gonna see like 200,000 reach. Yeah.
Okay.
And the audience is based in Singapore.
Yeah.
So her personal record is Rolls-Royce and Ferrari.
Lamborghini.
Do they need conversion? No, they need branding.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I remember one of the campaign is like showing the newest model, and then you'll be like on WeChat, why did I get the advertised? I'm so not accurate target. But actually, what they want to do is like average Joe understand this is the new model. When they drive past, like whoa, they need the whoa
Right.
to feed the ego
So
whoever
they
bought
buy,
it.
they buy the wool for
Correct.
the buyer.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that when you at the buyer, you drive past, then the wool is part of the package.
Correct. So that's
Oh.
called branding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is interesting.
these fancy cars, they really need conversion, do they?
Yeah,
No, they don't.
yeah.
They want everybody else knows. Oh, my friend is actually getting the latest version, the most expensive version can be out there.
Great. So based on this line, right? Okay, if we already assume that a lot of the businesses they have tapped on this already. Okay, of course, we it sounds like not everybody's there, but if the company has already done all this, right? They have a thriving Xiaohongshu, they have a thriving WeChat, they got their hands dirty, they know what's going on, and then now they want to go into China, right? They've 不是猛龙不过江, right? So this is the beast, right? They're entering the Chinese market. How do they do it? How should they think about this? You know, what are some steps Do we do a JV right into the market, or do we maybe go to Hong Kong as a window into the market, or like go straight into Shanghai? Like what are we thinking of when a business has already done all the things you've said and they want to take the big leap? Yeah, how do they do it?
When you say that the brand is thriving in WeChat, thriving in Xiaohongshu, that sounds like this is the wife, like both children educate really well, doing all the housework, and then the career-wise making $30,000 a month above it's doable. It does exist, but it's very rare.
Okay.
But let's just assume all of these are fulfilled. Yeah. So what I would totally suggest is throw some campaigns, let's say in Hong Kong or in Shanghai or in Shenzhen, and see which has the better result for inquiries and everything. So based on some sort of data, and then you can slowly set up office there and
create demand based
Create
on
demand.
your A/B testing, right?
Correct.
And I guess it also depends
not-
on the nature of the business,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is it e-commerce? Is it retail?
Sorry, I
is it
can't hear
F&B?
you. What you say?
The nature of the business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like example, what kind of business we're talking
I
about
think
here?
e-commerce, I think that always works, right? D2C, this method of testing, A/B testing
Wait.
is quite easy, right?
Chinese
But-
e-commerce is like 10 years advanced than everybody.
yeah,
Why
yeah.
you want to set up e-commerce in
So-
China?
No, as in like
How
kind
about
of
chiffon cake?
Okay.
Yeah.
Chiffon cake.
Yeah, so I mean that in Singapore we call it D2C, right? Direct to customer, right? So I think that's like when you have a product, you go over and then you integrate with the local ecosystem. Right, so that's that. But I think, what about more physical type of business, right? Where they have like a coffee shop, or they have like a furniture brand, like there are a lot of furniture brands here, right?
Let's talk about Yakun. Is
or
Yakun
like
in China?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yakun
yeah.
in China.
Toast box.
Yeah. Toast box, the whole brand is there.
Oh yeah, Breto.
Yeah.
Breto is huge in
Yeah.
China. Yeah.
So when F&Bs like that try to enter the Chinese market, how should they do it? How should we think about it?
I would suggest maybe get a local partner.
Okay, so local partner, because the kind of wisdom on the street is if you want to enter China, get a local partner, work with a JV, and then enter together, right? Is that still the case? Is it still the case where foreigners cannot just go in on their own? Or, of course you can lah, but we're talking about risk managed strategy, right?
Yeah.
So is it still a case where it's still best to find a JV partner?
It works in the last time, and
Okay.
it works now.
Yeah.
Because
So it still works.
like the legal issue and the intellectual that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
But you never know. Chaji, so they found the best local partner can be.
Yeah. But that's one way, right? So the reverse also stand in that point of view. Okay.
Same. Like
fair.
it's a marriage between China and Singapore.
Yeah.
It could go well. It could go bad. 56% chance it will go bad.
Okay.
And then if this way doesn't work, then try another way.
Great. So maybe in closing, maybe you can share with us some of the interesting development that is happening in the Chinese market, that for our audience, they can really explore. So maybe there's like this whole home, upgrading boom, or there's something. I don't know exactly, right? Of course, I know the property market is going through some cycles, so that aside, but I want to dig your brains into like what is interesting and happening in China now that you as a local Singapore brand or Malaysian brand, you can really kind of think about, entering in.
There's like a 消费降级. Have you
Yes,
heard
I know
about it?
消费
Yeah.
降级. That means people are looking for more value, right,
Yes.
for every dollar that they
Because
spend.
after post COVID, right, and then people like the economics is that not that good, so they are more spending more like high value stuff instead of go to like you can see the restaurant. Last time people is more prefer to go to that kind of atas like a Michelin star restaurant. Now they prefer something is more like 蜜雪. Why?
米雪.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
Okay.
That.
And then each company, each industry is definitely very vastly different. And then as what we suggested, you try in Singapore first with 1.5 million Chinese, and then we can cater upon that and see where China is like a size of whole Europe. It's different countries actually. Every different city has different cultures or whatever. So based on whatever your product and service is, and then the response in Singapore, and then we can plan what you can go there. advertise time. So please contact us on LinkedIn for a free half an
Very
hour
good.
one-to-one consultation. So we can guide you hand in hand to it's no way nobody can guarantee success or whatever, but we will try to maximize the success rate for you instead of you going there blindly by yourself.
Great. Maybe last question. Is there an advantage for the Singapore brand? Because Singapore always
100%.
call itself, oh, we're selling the Singapore brand, right?
Yes.
So that means today I enter China, I'll say, well, I'm from Singapore. Like the brand is from Singapore. Is there an advantage?
I'll talk from the franchise point of view. So we trust Singapore franchise a lot more because you guys don't have 3 sets of accounts. It's not a one account for the government, one account for myself, one account for the investor. You have one set of accounts. It's trustworthy, the numbers. It's very important. And then number 2, we know that you're well established in Singapore and then everybody's bilingual and you can communicate with us smoothly most of the time. We don't put
Different
like
proficiency,
6 English words in one Chinese sentence, which I do that all the time as well. And we understand the Chinese culture really well. So there's a lot of beneficial for Singapore brands to go to China, and Singapore government is giving a lot of grants for Singapore brands to go overseas as well.
We talked about that earlier, right, Reggie?
Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff there. So,
Yeah.
okay, you got anything, so how now? Excited
good.
for China?
Yeah, I think a little bit more convinced. Maybe we will have coffee soon.
So, okay. So I'll see you in China.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Take care.
Add me on LinkedIn.
Take care.
Bye.